Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. And I'm joined by the ladies tonight, again as usual, Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi. Today I had quite a score and I wanted to share it with you guys. I was not planning on making a video today, but I went to a thrift shop. I was out and about today. I was in the area. So I dropped into a Value Village, and I wasn't really expecting much, but boy, did I hit a treasure trove of goodies here. I got, I think I got about 22 VHS tapes, and these are all retro. These were all 3 for $1. They're having a huge Halloween sale. I talked to a guy behind the counter who was checking me out when I bought all this stuff. And I asked him if he had more stock in the back that they're waiting to put out. And he said that they hold on to their horror stuff for the most part throughout the year so they can put it all out during Halloween, and that's what they did. So next year I know I'm going to go back and hit that same store again. I feel like I made out like a bandit. Like I said, it's 3 for $1. I did also pick up a couple of DVDs, but I'm more excited about the VHS. I'm going to go through and show you guys what I picked up. So I got a little pile here of VHS. I'll show you my DVD pickups. I got a couple of signed things here too. We'll show at the end, and I got a couple of Disney VHS. So stick around and get yourself a pop, get yourself some chips, kick your feet up, and let's go through and see what I got. So just to pull from a pile, these are in no particular order. I'm very happy with the selection and the items that I picked up today. I'm going to go back tomorrow and hit a couple of other thrift shops and see if they got the same type of system going on where they have put all their Halloween stuff out now. Some do, some don't, I guess. But the first one here is called Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. I put all these in a little plastic case already. It makes them look cleaner and nicer, plus it'll protect them, because some of these are pretty old and I want to keep them as nice as I can. You can see that it has some kind of probably a video rental store sticker, which I am going to keep all these stickers on. I could easily pull these off with Goo Gone, but I think it makes it look a little bit more retro and it has a better feel to it with those little rental stickers on there. And this was from a Hollywood video at one time. That is Prom Night 4. The next one is called The Offspring. Some of these, probably most of these by now, have at least a DVD release, or if not a Blu-ray release. And then this one has a Blu-ray release. Scream Factory put this one out. There's Vincent Price. Clu Gulager. Nice little horror anthology. You can see that it's has some age to it, but I like that. You know, it has a good retro vibe. This one is called Village of the Damned, and you can see this one had a history of different sales. The first sticker here on the back says $12.99. I don't know exactly where that sticker was from, but then it was reduced to $6.99 and reduced once more at half price books to, I don't know if you can see that. It's actually $3.98. You're not going to be able to see that. The flash kind of washes out that white. You can see it a little bit, I guess. $3.98, and I got it for 33 cents. Next one is a Roger Corman film. Looks like somebody was trying to peel a sticker off. I may clean that one up with a little Goo Gone just to get that off because it looks pretty bad. Somebody tried peeling that one off, but this is the Terror from Vintage Video. Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson together in the same movie. You got it. And directed by Roger Corman. This VHS came out in 1985. I get a kick out of this little tagline here too. It says, "Guaranteed finest quality videotape and recording techniques." Picture from 1963. Once I get that sticker cleaned off, this is going to be a beautiful cover. And that's the end of pile 1. Put that off to the side a little bit. Next one is called Stakes, a little vampire film. It looks like it's very low budget. It has a little horror sticker on there, and it has the little, probably the location that the tape was in, whatever kind of system they were using for cataloging their movies. At the top it says, "Two worlds, one deadly evil." Vampires from another world have come to Earth and to breed. Next one is called Sanitarium. Had the same little horror sticker and the same kind of a cataloging, I don't know, sticker label at the top. Sanitarium, the cure is deadlier than the disease. Very nice copy here. Beautiful. Very pristine. Next one is called Haunts, and this one's kind of rare, and don't mistake rare for valuable. But I think these the media label, a lot of you guys know that have been collecting for many years. When the DVDs first came out, Anchor Bay was pretty much the go-to for horror films. But back on VHS, Media was that company that released a lot of the obscure and a lot of the horror titles. Media was the top dog back in the VHS days. So if you search for these in secondary markets, you're going to have to pay a little bit more for the Media titles. And I'm sure many of you know that. The ones who have been trying to track down the original A Nightmare on Elm Street on Media or Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Media, those tapes are going to be over $100, sometimes $250 for those movies, because people want the first original pressing of those movies. I've been looking for a good copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre for a few years, and I find them. They're available, but they're very pricey, and what you get for your money is not exactly what I've been looking for. I want something, pretty clean. A lot of times you'll have rips, coffee stains, bubbling from water damage. I'm looking for a really clean copy. Someday I'll find it at my price, but these are really nice. And the thing about Media is they didn't have an opening on the sides. Each one was an actual box, and you had to open up the tab on the bottom or the top. Most people chose the bottom, and then you slide the tape out. So it does have all sides completely sealed. And this one is a very, very clean copy. These are hard to find in this good of condition. I don't plan on selling this. This is from 1984. But I'm very glad to have that one for 33 cents. That's definitely worth it. That's one of the pickups of the day for me. Next one is called The Dead Don't Die from Good Times, starring George Hamilton and Ray Milland, Joan Blondell. Good Times was one of the companies. They were around in the beginning, but they were more or less kind of on the cheaper end of the spectrum. These were always very affordable. They still are to this day. Whereas Media was like on one end of the spectrum, Good Times was on the other end of the spectrum. You know, it wasn't as good quality, and it was much more affordable, put it that way. Next one is called Love Object. Some people are just made for each other. Looks like it's kind of a necromantic type film. I really don't know anything about this movie. I've never seen it before. This one came out in 2002. So it's a more modern VHS release, towards the tail end of the VHS. Here's a classic. Very happy to see this one. It's got a little bit of wear and tear, but this is a very old and probably heavily viewed and heavily handled item here. This is the original Scream Queen, one of the best ever Scream Queens, Jamie Lee Curtis in Prom Night. And like I said, you can see that there's a little bit of wear and tear, but when they're in these boxes like that, these will last now for as long as I do when I kick the bucket. And the thing is, I don't really have anybody to pass these down to, so I don't know what's going to happen to my collection when I do kick the bucket, but let's not think about that. That's going to be a long time away. Next one is Critters 3, You Are What They Eat. These little hairballs, they're fun. This one was still sealed, but it had a little bit of some of the cellophane was taken off. And I think that somebody tried to open it, and it looks like they may have tried to view it. I don't know if they viewed it or not, because there's still some of the saran or some of the shrink wrap kind of holding up on the side there. But this is in really good, clean condition. And the last one for pile number 2, looks like it was a former Blockbuster rental called Terrortunes. I have this on DVD as well. I have a signed copy of this. Yep, it was from Blockbuster, 2002 again. Experience the dark and sinister world of Terrortunes. Rated R puppetry. And so that is the end of pile number 3, I guess. So let's continue on to the next pile. The next one here is called Visiting Hours. It looks like it was a previewed VHS tape at one time. This was kind of the only gimmick VHS I got, because it slides out of the side in a little cardboard tray. And then you see the tape there. I believe this one also does have a Scream Factory release on Blu-ray. Put up by 20th Century Fox. Still very, very good condition. There's the little green horror sticker at the top. Love it. This was released in 1982. Visiting Hours. Next one is called Haunted, starring Aidan Quinn and Kate Beckinsale. I've always had a huge crush on Kate Beckinsale. A romantic ghost tale with a twist. This is probably not one I would seek out, and if I didn't see it at a thrift shop for 33 cents, I probably wouldn't have grabbed this one, but I thought, why not add it to the collection. Next one is a Kevin Tenney movie called Night of the Demons 2. Angela's Throwing Another Party. Trick or Treat Sucker. These were fun movies. Really enjoy these. Had good practical effects, pretty good gore, and a lot of blood. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek dark comedy. I liked part 1 a little bit better, but part 2 was fun. There you go, at the sides there. Really nice and clean copy too. This one was completely sealed. You can see that it has shrink wrap at the bottom, all the way around. I still put it in a plastic case anyway. And this is Stephen King's Quicksilver Highway. Stephen King and Clive Barker team up to make a vampire flick. Christopher Lloyd is in it. There he is right there. And man, is that a nice grab for 33 cents. Looks like this might have been a screener. It says not for sale or rental. Maybe this was given away, or maybe this was part of a multi-pack. I don't know, but it was never viewed. And it doesn't say screener on the box at all. Usually it would say screener somewhere around the box. So this was probably in some kind of a multi-pack at one time. They sold it in a box set. So it's not for individual resale or rental. I don't know. Here's a classic, Child's Play, the original. MGM had a movie line called Movie Time. This was one of them. Not much to say about this that you guys already don't know. Killer doll movie, Chucky. Everybody knows Child's Play. Next one was, I was really glad to find this one too. This is called Carnage. This was released as a media release at one time, but this is the Video Treasures. Again, this was kind of lower, towards the lower end of the spectrum. Not quite as far down as Good Times. Maybe one or two in front of Good Times as far as, you know, quality and price for the product. But this is also in very, very good condition. I left quite a few of them behind. I may go back tomorrow and pick up some more. If I do, I'll make another video and show you guys what I grabbed. This one looked really cool. I don't know anything about it. It's called Tail Sting. It has that little horror circle, another little, some kind of a numbering system for their library. And it came with a yellow tape I thought was pretty cool, and that cover looks pretty nice. No one can hear them sting. Very cool. And moving on to the last little pile here, these three. Here's another media release of Hatchet for the Honeymoon. And that is a classic. This was another gem that I found. Very, very good condition. It does have a sticker on the side, which I will leave there. It also has a green dot. That was probably part of their cataloging system. I assume green means horror, and the number is where they had to put the tapes when they're done, when they get turned in. This was put out in 1985 by Media. Next one looks like it was another blockbuster movie, previewed for $6.99, called The Butcher Boy. The cover looks like it's faded, but it's meant to look like that. It's in very, very good condition. You got the title there on the spine, and it doesn't say how much they were asking for it, but in 2002 this was available for sale at Blockbuster. The Butcher Boy. And the last one for this little section is from Anchor Bay, the Hammer collection called Reptile, and it came in this black clamshell case, and I just opened it up. You guys remember these editions? These were the cream of the crop when they came out. There's the Anchor Bay logo. And right about when Anchor Bay started putting out these clamshell cases, that's when Anchor Bay took the torch from Media and they ran with the torch, and they went from the end of the VHS days and they leapfrogged into the DVD days as the #1 label. So let us get into the couple DVDs that I got, and then I'll show you a couple of Disney VHS and some autographed items I picked up. The first item here is a box set. It comes in this nice tin. This is one I always wanted to get. This is the DVD box set of a miniseries called The Pacific. And this is a kind of a companion piece to the Band of Brothers, which I showed in a previous video. It also came in a beautiful tin like this. It was a Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg partnership, and others. There was other writers involved in it, but they were also involved in Band of Brothers. The Band of Brothers from 2001 was a World War II piece about the Army, and it was so good. I really recommend it to anybody out there. It doesn't matter what part of the world you live in. It's a beautiful mini-series, one of my favorites. And in 2010, they followed up with The Pacific, and this is about the Marines during World War II, the U.S. Marines. So you're seeing all this from the U.S. side of things, of the war. And like I was saying, this was one I always wanted to pick up and watch, but I never have. But I'm definitely going to set time aside to watch this. I'll probably binge watch it. A really nice piece. I got it for $5. It's almost like brand new. And I remember when these first came out, they were like $60 for these mini-series. Same thing with Band of Brothers, and I got them both now for like, I think $5 a piece. Although I had seen Band of Brothers already, I bought it again just to have it, because I had it, watched it, and sold it. I bought it again. This is the first time I ever owned this, and I will not sell it, but I'll just kind of show you guys what the tin looks like. It's in really good shape. There's a little bit of sticker residue on the back. I can clean that off later. Somebody wrote with marker up at the top up there, but all in all, I mean, this piece is like pristine. I checked the discs already. I always check the discs at these stores because sometimes people are quite rough with their movies. I can't understand what they do with them. Do they play frisbee with them when they're done watching? I don't know, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking this out. From what I heard, this is not quite as good as Band of Brothers, but that would have been a pretty tall task because Band of Brothers was, I think I gave it a 10, and I think on IMDb it's like 9.5. So I think it's one of the highest rated series ever on IMDb. From what I heard, this is about an 8 out of 10, but I'm going to keep an open mind and grade it the way I like to grade it. I don't listen to other, reviewers and stuff because a lot of people don't have the same tastes I do, so I take that with a grain of salt and I just watch it and form my own opinion. But definitely looking forward to The Pacific. I also got for $2, picked up Strange Things. This is an 11 movie collection, and definitely they're kind of cashing in on the Stranger Things vibe here. That $2 is written in dry marker, so I can just take a little tissue and wipe that off. That's not that big of a deal. I was going to do that before the video and I just forgot. But this is a 3-disc set from Mill Creek, and the discs are stacked. I checked them already. They're all in good order. I'm not gonna, it's a little dusty, but I'll clean that up later. But in the 3-disc set, you get Pulse, Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, and Crawl. Those are all on disc 1. And then on discs 2 and 3, you get My Mom's a Werewolf, The Hearse, Lurkers, Slipstream, Mutant, Warriors of the Wasteland, Alien Contamination, and Eternal Evil. Some of these already have a Blu-ray release. The Hearse has a really nice Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome. Alien Contamination, I believe, was released by Scream Factor, and it may also have been released by Arrow. Don't quote me on that. But these are fun films, and for $2 I grabbed that. It's a pretty cool little set here. 11 movies for $2. Mill Creek. And an update or two ago, I found Boogeyman Part 2 at a Goodwill. They also had Boogeyman Part 1, but it was pretty scratched up, so I left that one behind at Goodwill. This was a former Blockbuster rental. I found this at Value Village with the rest of this stuff here for $2, and it's in really good shape, so I picked it up. It is the special edition of Boogeyman. You can see it has the old Blockbuster sticker on there, which I will keep. I'm going to keep that. Kind of more of a sentimental reason, because like I mentioned before, I used to be really anal about these. You know, if I bought a movie from Blockbuster or anywhere really, and it had stickers like this, I couldn't wait to get home and peel them off and scrub these down and just make them look nice. But now that Blockbusters are gone, I want to keep those on there just to kind of keep the memory alive. But yeah, it's in good order. It still has the Blockbuster logo there on the case. Picked up a couple of Disney VHS. I got the Nightmare Before Christmas in almost brand new condition. A little dusty again, like I said, but I haven't really cleaned these up yet. I just bought these today. I haven't really done anything with them. Not much to say about this movie. I love it. Everybody loves A Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a great Halloween / Christmas movie. More Halloween, but you do get the vibes of both. And one that I ordered from eBay, because this is very rare in the Disney VHS collection. And again, don't confuse rare with valuable, because these are not very valuable anymore. I don't know if they ever really were. But this is the Dumbo. This one is the rare one because it's Dumbo in the the violet letters, or pink. I don't know. It looks like it's more kind of violet. Depending on which way you look at the light, it's violet or pink, whatever. And it comes in this black case with that thin strip of pink on the spine, and the classics also on the spine. This is one of the more rare Disney VHS tapes, and I think I got this for about $12. So I mean, rare doesn't mean valuable, but I wanted it in my collection. It's like brand new. I mean, it's really nice. It has the old Classics logo right on the case right there. There's the tape. And they call these the padded clamshells because it does have kind of almost kind of a spongy feel to it. And I'm going to pause it now, and we're going to go downstairs, and I'm going to show you the other Dumbo VHS tapes I have. There's one more in the VHS collection that I need to get, and it's the white one, the white cream-shelled clamshell. It's late, guys. I'm tired. It's a cream-colored clamshell of Dumbo, which I will be getting, and when I do get that, I'll show you guys. But let's go take a look in my basement, and I'm going to show you the other VHS tapes. Okay, so kind of panning out from afar, you can kind of get the overview, and I have these in order from left to right in which order they were released. So the first one here is the one I just picked up. They were calling this one the Black Diamond, the Classics. That was first, before this Dumbo, which was also a classic Black Diamond. And then years later, they released it as a masterpiece collection. And then even later, they released it as a 60th anniversary edition. Because Disney is very good at marketing, and they know that when they tell people they're going to put a movie in the vault, the people go crazy and they want to go pick them up. And then they stop selling them for a while. And then a little bit down the road, they put a different cover on it and sell the same movie all over again, and people like me can't wait to get their hands on it. But it's fun, and these are fun to collect, so I'm glad I have these, and I'm not complaining. The other Dumbo that I was telling you guys about, the one that comes in the cream-colored clamshell, I believe it came between this Dumbo and this Dumbo. But I have to do a little more research on that, because it might have come before this Dumbo. The cream-colored one may have been the first issue. So I'll do a little more research, and when I get that in, I'll fill you guys in on that. But let's go back upstairs and check out the signed items I picked up. Oh, hey, you guys beat me back up here. How about that? Well, let's get into the signed items that I picked up, and I'm very happy to add this to my signed items collection. Big fan of the ink spots, and this is an original, authentic 4 inches by 6 inches signed photo of the original ink spots. I say original ink spots because there were several different renditions of the ink spots over the years. The original ink spots broke up in 1952, and after that there had been several different lineups, but these are some of the original guys. And in this photo you have Bill Kenny, who was the lead singer. He was the tenor in the group. He had an amazing voice, such a great vocalist, and he could hit some of the high notes. He could hit different octaves, very high octaves in his voice, and he could carry a tune, and I mean, he was just on point all the time. You have Charlie Fuqua, who was one of the founding members of the band. In 1952, Bill Kenny and Charlie Fuqua kind of bumped heads a little bit, and they each went their separate ways. Bill Kenny kept the original Ink Spots name with his group. Charlie Fuqua started a new group called the New Ink Spots, and they both sang the same songs. It's very, very strange, and I wish that didn't happen like that because those guys were so good together. But they were both very successful after they broke up. This is Herb Kenny, who was the twin brother of Bill Kenny, and he was the bassist. He had the bass voice. He had the very deep voice. So Bill had the high tenor voice. Herb had the low bass voice. Charlie Fuqua was a baritone. He was somewhere in between the tenor and the bass. And Billy Butterball Bowen was a second tenor. So these two guys were very high notes. He was kind of the medium range, and he was the very low range. But it's so cool to have those 4 guys signed on this 4x6 card. I don't know what that says at the top. I believe it says Eunice, bless you always. But man, this was I was so happy to get this. It's small. I mean, my hands are pretty big, but this is a very small photo. I'm going to have to definitely find a way to get this either framed or send it into PSA, which is an authenticator, and they can encapsulate it. And you know, I already know that these are authentic signatures, but they'll research it and then they'll encapsulate it, and then I'll have it so it won't get ruined. As of right now, it's just in this little plastic sleeve, so I got to keep the dogs away from it because they don't know any better, you know. So, and then the last item for this video is another independent singer, and her name is Sarah King, and her voice is absolutely beautiful. I will leave actually what I'll do, I'll leave a link down below for my favorite Ink Spots song. I'm starting to lose my voice, guys. We'll have to wrap this up. And I'll leave a link down below for a Sarah King song, so you guys can go check her out. It says, Todd, thank you for the support and joy. She put a little heart there and in her signature. And it's really, really cool. Glad to have this. I would describe her music as kind of bluesy and folksy, kind of folk rock with a little kind of country rock. It's really, really cool. And actually the song I'm going to play for you guys is an old Black Sabbath song called War Pigs, and she does her own rendition of it, and it's really good. But I think that the best song on this album is number 4, called Not Worth the Whiskey, and you guys can look that up here on YouTube. She has a video out, and it's a really good song. It's kind of a country rock folk song. It's really, really good. And then she gave me this little sticker with the album. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I'm a music head. I love music just as much as I love movies, maybe more. I'm really into lyrics and the meaning behind songs. I don't just hear songs, I feel them. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. But I think that's going to do it for this update video, because I can't think of anything else that I have. There's always a chance that I forgot to put something in, but if I did, I'll just throw it in with the next update video. But let me know what you guys think of this haul, and let me know what you have available to you at your thrift shops. If you don't know, you better get out there and check it out. You might be missing out on some gold out there, guys. This is the time of year to get your horror movies really cheap. Go to your Goodwills, your Value Village, your Salvation Armies, your St. Vincent de Paul. Look in the newspapers for people that are going to have rummage sales, because this is a time of year to really, you can really score big on some of these kind of, I don't know, rare but obscure stuff that you might want to add to your collection. So with that, with Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, it's kind of late, and I think I'm going to go sip on some hot tea for my throat. Maybe catch up on a YouTube video or two, and I'm going to take my ass and lay it right down in this bed right here. And as always, you guys, thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.